All right, welcome back. My name is Dave, Harmless Dave over on the other channel, and kind of harmless over here too, although maybe a little bit more harmful. I don't know. So I want to talk about Tulsi Gabbard. I haven't talked about Tulsi in a long time, and I know there are some legacy subscribers over here who were on this platform when I was completely devoted to elevating Tulsi Gabbard as she ran for president as a Democrat. Uh, I'm sorry, folks. It's a non-starter. She needs to drop the D. Now, here's my theory, right? She's been going on Fox News constantly. She's definitely getting a lot of views when she goes, a lot of eyeballs, whether it's Tucker or Laura Ingraham last night. She did a great job over there educating all the neocons about proxy war and about nuclear war. Tulsi Gabbard is a voice of reason. I think she's running for president. I think she's going to run for president as a Republican. She doesn't have to switch party affiliation yet, but I think she's going to. I think she'll probably do it before the end of this year. I don't think she's going to win the Republican nomination for president, but I do think she would be a great vice president for either Ron DeSantis or whoever else does well in the Republican primary. I don't know about Donald Trump. I just don't know. I am still thinking Trump may figure to himself, look, I mean, he's borderline almost indicted, right? And as much as I think that whole thing is a sham, it would be enough, I think, to sort of mess up his presidential aspirations for 2024. But everybody close to the situation says, yeah, he's going to run. He's going to do it. Now, if he runs, it makes it really hard for Tulsi Gabbard to get a lot of traction if she decides to run for president. But I do think it makes the real possibility that at the end of it, you know, you're going to need kind of a softer alternative to Trump in the sense that Tulsi can connect with people on an emotional level. Trump doesn't do that stuff. Trump is just a bull in a china shop. He doesn't empathize. He never admits when he's wrong. Those are traits that, and you would say, well, it's political. It doesn't really matter. It does matter because people want to vote for somebody who they could sit down and relax with and have a conversation with and feel as though they're being understood. And there's a warmth and there's a sincerity there. It's human nature. It has nothing to do with, is it more political to be an empathizer? No, not necessarily. It's just more human, and people like that human contact and that human ability that I think Tulsi Gabbard, I mean, if you watched Tulsi at the town hall events she did when she ran as a Democrat, I mean, there were people in that room, which was really interesting. There were Republicans, libertarians, independents, and Democrats in that room. And that's what you need. That's the kind of coalition you need to win the White House. And, you know, in a world where Donald Trump didn't exist, say Trump doesn't run for president, I'm thinking Tulsi jumps in. Tulsi jumps in and says, look, I ran before. I know how this works. I understand the problems the country has. I think I can bring the country together. I can run as a Republican, but I think I'm going to get a lot of Democrats who are disaffected and a ton of independents, right? Aren't there more independents out there than Republicans and Democrats combined? Or at least I know there are more independents than, say, one of the major parties, maybe not both of them combined. But to me, this would be a great political move. This would be a move not just to make a name for yourself and to run to get the name ID out there. I think at this point, it would be a move to save the country, like a real honest move. There's a part of me that would like to rename this channel and call it It's All Fake. That's people say, well, that's you, Dave, you're fake. So no, I'm talking, and maybe people think that's okay. They can think what they want. It's a free world. Well, sort of. But everything that you buy into, are there two parties? No, it's fake. Are there really good jobs available out there? No, most of them suck and nobody wants to do it. I mean, you go down the list of things that are fake. What about the church? Does the church believe in what they preach? No, most of them don't. I mean, there might be a few people, but I'm saying in general, there's so much fakery out there that it's getting to the whole point of black pilled, or who cares who wins, because it's not going to matter, because you elect a Republican, the big red wave is coming, and then the red wave is all about fundraising, and then they get to DC and then they become chicken. They don't want to do anything, or they're like stopping Biden doing more destruction and damage to the country, but they're not doing anything productive to fix it. So yeah, we had that, I think, when Paul Ryan was Speaker of the House. Remember Paul Ryan and Barack Obama, and they were buddies. Didn't they play like racquetball or something together? I mean, there's all these stories about these politicians who hang out. It's not like Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan. That was different. This is all more like collusion. Those two guys were opposed to each other, but were friends. These people aren't really opposed to each other, and they're maybe friendly, but more importantly, they work together to destroy what's left of this country. So Tulsi Gabbard would be somebody, maybe the last chance that we have to bring people together for unity, not for unity just for the sake of unity. For a long time, when I was doing the whole Tulsi channel, I thought to myself, we really need to promote unity. And it was more for just the sake of unity. But at this point, it's not about just to be unified. It's for preservation. It's to keep this country going. Because if we don't find some common ground on the big issues, and I think the last 2.5 years with all the mandates, the lockdowns, and the medical tyranny and medical apartheid that took place, I think people have rethought what issues are most important. I think they have. And they understand that the healthcare industry is nothing to prop up with government money. How much more corruption after what we've seen? How much more are we going to see if we do that? So anyway, Tulsi Gabbard out there. And again, I'm watching, I'm hoping, I'm praying. I'd like to see somebody emerge and say, you know what? We truly can be better. Not build back better. We can truly be better. We can truly and honestly address the most important issues of our time. We don't have a lot of time left to do that, though. I think at some point, the fragmentation, the balkanization, whatever you want to call it, is going to be too great to put this experiment back together again the way it was intended. And we've been going down this path for at least 100 years, really. Anyway, a lot of that has to do with endless war and running your economy off of war. And there's one person out there really that speaks boldly on this and is very much all by themselves, and that's Tulsi Gabbard. So I'm still watching, I'm still hoping. And Tulsi, anytime you want to declare your candidacy, you could do so right here on my show. And maybe when you decide to switch parties, even if Tulsi Gabbard became an independent, usually I would say they don't have a chance. But in a three-way race against like Gavin Newsom, Donald Trump, and Tulsi Gabbard, I mean, that would be pretty interesting. And you never know. And look, of course, the media will black out everything she does and says. But the big difference between, say, 4 years ago and, or 2020 and 2024, the rise of independent media and alternative platforms. So those things can make a huge difference. And I think people are ready to make a move and do something bold. And I'm hoping I'm here to see it. That's what I want. I want to be here to see it. and it would be nice if it actually happened, right? Every 4 years we get hopeful, and every 4 years we're pretty much let down. For some of you who love Donald Trump, you loved 2016, right? 2016 was, sticking it to the man and giving the middle digit to Hillary Clinton. And yeah, I liked it too. And that is good, but we've got bigger fish to fry and bigger problems to deal with now. And so we need to get busy. We need to get to work. So in any event, that's my video. Tulsi being Tulsi. You can check her interview out with Laura Ingraham. I love it when she tells the neocons what's really going on. And you can disagree with her, but it's really hard to argue the point on Russia, Ukraine, and our proxy war, which apparently, according to Biden, he will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. Great. So print more money. That's what that means. All right. See you soon.